Welcome to part 10 of my Miraculous Redesign series, where today we are doing Ryuko, aka Kagami Sarugi. Now, this is one that I have been excited to do for a while, but was also stuck on several occasions on what I was gonna do. Mostly because I, in my mind, had way too many ideas on what I wanted to do with this girl. But as you can kind of see here, when it came to the end of the sketching process, it all came together in a way that I am really happy with. When it comes to her canon design, I personally like her season 6 design a little more than her original design. I don't fully know why I prefer her new design to her original, but I think it kind of comes down to the way the black in her new design has a sort of scaly pattern, and the way her hair kind of spikes up a little bit more. I don't know, I kind of like it. I really like it, actually. And so, turning to my redesign, there were a few things that I really wanted to do in this. One of them was lean into samurai inspiration. I know I kind of said back in Pegasus's video that Carapace was vaguely samurai inspired. Yeah, I take that back, he was not. But Ryuko here, she is. Also, yes, I am probably going to say her hero name at least 4 different ways throughout the course of this video. I'm trying my best here, okay? However, I did also take a lot of creative liberties, some of which include giving the shoulder pads, chest plate, and skirt thing a scaly pattern, which you've likely already been able to see. However, something you would have not been able to see yet is that I altered her color palette. Her canonical color palette is red, black, and gold, which are Ladybug's colors plus gold, which is why I wound up switching it to be red, blue, black, and silver. I had to do a lot of testing to get the combinations of the colors correct, and if anybody wants to see them, I can make a completely separate video. I might even if nobody wants to see them, because I put a lot of effort into trying to figure out what looked right. But in the end, this is what wound up working. A deeper red to cover most of the body, a deep kind of tealish blue for the armoring, and the silver as more of an accent. And then the black only really makes itself known in her boots. I kept her weather-based abilities because I think it is a very interesting set of abilities to have. However, in both her canon designs, she has a little logo on her chest that shows the different things she can do with her abilities. However, due to the armor, I could not put it on her chest. So, I moved them to the top of what I believe is called, and excuse me, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, a kuzari? And I think having them there wound up working out really well. Okay, so anyway, now that we got that out of the way, on to rewrite stuff. So for anybody who is new here or doesn't already know, I am in the process of rewriting Miraculous seasons 1 through 5 with the hopes of more or less improving the story. If you want a timeline for that, there currently isn't one, considering I just finished rewriting episode 1. It only took me 9 months. Hopefully that should be the longest any episode will take. Only thing I really can tell you regarding timeline, and it's a pretty broad thing, is that I plan to have every season pre-written before I start publishing it. Slightly different way of explaining it, season 1 will not start being published until I am halfway done writing season 2. And that will apply to every season except season 5, because it's the last one anyway. Kagami! Now, everything talked about within this series are concepts for the most part, so things are subject to change. However, I do not plan on changing Kagami too much from her canonical self, except for maybe adding a little bit more depth to her character, and moving her introduction from season 2 up to season 1, because I want her to play a bit larger of a role. The role in question is going to be more of a looming plot thread throughout a majority of the series that will be tied up nice and neatly before the final conclusion. Now, the plot thread in question is going to remain a secret within my back pocket for the time being, because if and hopefully when I get around to publishing this, I want people to be surprised while reading, especially you guys who are keeping up with this redesign series. Coming up on the end here, I just gotta thank you guys for sticking it through to the end, and I have to say, Ryuko here is probably the character that required the most off-camera detail work out of anybody in this series so far, but I think it was so worth it.